Hello, fellow food lovers. Today I will be making Chinese salt and pepper shrimp or prawns. You will need 1 pound of shrimp or prawn. I recommend 8 to 12 count size. That's actually a perfect size for salt and pepper prawn. A quarter of a medium onion, 3 bird's eye chilies, 5 pieces of garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and a half teaspoon of ground black pepper. Okay, so we have a quarter of an onion. We're gonna coarse mince it or coarse chop it. So there's 3 aromatics that are generally used in salt and pepper dishes. Garlic, onion, and chilies. So we're gonna grab a couple of garlic pieces and we're gonna chop that up. So usually I'll flatten it with the side of the knife and then I'll mince it after that. Yeah, so the 3 aromatics used in salt and pepper dishes is garlic, onion, and chilies. And usually bird's eye or small chilies are used for this dish. And then the seasoning is generally salt, sugar, and black pepper, ground black pepper. Okay, so all the aromatics are cut up. Except the chilies. We're going to do the chilies now. Yeah, so salt and pepper is a type of cooking technique in Cantonese cooking, and the same technique is used for different proteins. So you can get salt and pepper shrimp, salt and pepper tofu, salt and pepper squid, and even salt and pepper pork chop. The one commonality is almost all the meats and the tofu is usually deep fried before you toss it in the seasoning and aromatics. Okay, so I got a pound of large prawns here. It's 8 to 12 count. They came deveined already. I'm gonna actually cook them in the shell. So when you serve it, it's in the shell. People will have to peel their own shrimp when they eat it. So I gave it a good rinse. You want to get the slime off it. Okay, so I have the wok half filled with oil. It's on high heat. And before I threw the shrimp in, I tested it. Usually the way Chinese people test to see if the oil's hot enough for deep frying in a wok is to take a wooden chopstick and to dip it in the oil. And if it bubbles around the chopstick, then the oil's hot enough. If it doesn't bubble, then you should wait a few more minutes and test again. Okay, there's no use throwing the shrimp into cold oil because it's not going to do anything for it. And yeah, you'll need a wooden chopstick to do it. Metal chopsticks and plastic chopsticks won't work for that technique for testing the oil. So you want to move the shrimp around so the bits that are sticking above the oil goes underneath the oil. And everything's all moved around. Okay, so once the shrimp turns white, it's done. So it could be done in 2-3 minutes. And then I used a slotted spoon. I took the shrimp out and I put it on paper towels on a plate to drain the oil. So I cleaned the wok and I put it on high heat and I put about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil in there. And once that's hot enough, I added the 3 aromatics, the garlic, the onion, and the chilies. So you want to give that a little fry. You don't want to overcook it. You don't want the garlic and the onion to be burnt or black or anything like that. Once it starts turning a light golden color, then you can add the seasoning, the sugar, the salts, and the black pepper. Yeah, so don't wait any longer than that. Once it starts to turn light brown, it's ready. If you wait beyond that, you're going to burn it for sure. And then you might as well just start over before you throw the shrimp in there. Okay, so it takes maybe a minute for the aromatics to be ready. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of sugar. And the half teaspoon of ground black pepper. You want to stir it around, make sure that the seasonings are mixed in with the oil. When you toss the shrimp in this mixture, the oil with the salt and the sugar and the black pepper will adhere to the shrimp and flavor it. Okay, so you toss the shrimp in once the seasonings all blend in with the oil, and then bring the aromatics up from the bottom of the wok and throw it over the top of the shrimp and make sure everything's well mixed. So it's done now. So I turn the stove off and I'm going to grab a serving plate. So usually when I transfer the shrimp over, there'll be a bunch of aromatics left in the bottom of the wok. So that kind of sits on top of the shrimp for our presentation. Okay, there you have it. That's salt and pepper shrimp or prawns. Bon appetit.